Hello, welcome to Inside China Auto and welcome to the beautiful countryside here in Zhejiang province, just south of the city of Hangzhou. Today we're going to be doing one of our more interesting videos. You know, recently we drove the Zeekr Mix to the frozen north, to the cold and the snow of Harbin, and today we're going to be doing the same thing again, taking a Chinese electric car somewhat out of its comfort zone and just trying to see just how much fun you can have in a £5,000 EV. Now, I did say that we're going to be taking this car out of its comfort zone. The truth is, small cars like this are actually really popular here in the countryside because back in the day, people drove horses or rode horses like this to get around. In modern times, they've been driving electric scooters and three-wheelers and things like that. And it's not that easy for them to get up hills. They're not super practical. They're not that safe. So cars like this that are super affordable, super compact, they can carry more stuff, they can carry more people, and they're really quite accessible for people here in the countryside. So it is somehow suited to the countryside despite being a city car. But we're going to put this car through a few tests today to work out just how much it can really do and just how much fun we can have with it. Now, this car is the most popular car, the most viewed car we've ever had on our channel. It's the Geely Panda Mini, and this is the Rancher version, which means that it's been a bit more beefed up. It looks like it's much more of an off-roader. The truth is, all of this, these plastic hooks, this roof rack, on the website it says it's all for decoration. I mean, we've got a ladder here. Even if it was real, I don't think I can get my foot up there to even climb on the roof. But you can't even store stuff on here. It's absolutely a city car. It's about £5,000, maybe £6,000. In dollars, depending on tariffs, maybe more like $20,000 now. But about $8,000 if you buy it in China. As I said, it's compact, it's small, it's got about a 20 kilowatt motor. I think it's on the rear, it might be on the front. And we're just going to try it out and just see what kind of, is it really an off-roader? Just how much off-road can we actually do with this? So let's check it out and get straight into the video, see how much fun we can have with the Geely Panda Mini. So what can I tell you about the Panda Mini Rancher? Well, essentially, it's the same as the standard Panda Mini. That means that you get a 30 kilowatt motor on the rear axle. It's about 40 horsepower, which is basically the same as my old Mini. And actually, the car only weighs 815 kilograms, which is about one dumbbell heavier than my Mini. So it's small, it's light and nimble, just over 3 meters long, wheelbase just over 2 meters, and it's cheap and cheerful. It's got a lot of plastic around it because that's how you get a price point of about £6,000. This is the most expensive Panda you can get, or you can get the standard version. Let's see if this goes anywhere interesting. There's a lot of stones on this road. Alrighty, so it seems like we've come to a dead end, and I'll tell you what, this is a good test for the car actually. Let's see if we can do a 3-point turn, because our camera guy definitely can't do this in his car, but let's try it in our car. Oh, there's a corner. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to put the window down so I can see the front wheel with this. Alright, there we go. Got to be wary because this car rolls a little bit every now and then. Alright, let's put the mirror down so I can see what's going on there. It's pretty close. Oh, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this though. That's really... Okay, that's too close. We're not going to do it in 3. I'm convinced we can do this in 3. We just need better preparation. Okay, right, let me do a U-turn again. Problem is, if I roll off the edge, I've got a £6,000 car in a cornfield that I've got to pay for, which I don't really want to do. Right, let's give it a second go, okay? Let's try and get as close to this edge as possible. The key is to get the swing. Heart's in my mouth here. Okay. I think I'm right on the edge. Okay. Here we go. Right, head out the window. Let's get as close to the edge as we can. All right, okay. Handbrake on, put it in reverse, and accelerate backwards. It's going to be tight, but I think we can do it. Oh, this is better. Oh, wheels right on the edge. We've got a much more of the front end round this time. Oh, shit. I nearly went forward. I nearly went backwards into the field. We did! Yes! We made it in 3. Brilliant. Yeah, it's an interesting car. It's absolutely an urban car. It's designed for the city. But I mentioned in the intro, it does work pretty well out here in the countryside because you get a lot of really narrow old streets because, as I said, people used to move things by cow and horse, and they didn't need wide roads for 2-meter wide cars. So the streets are quite narrow, and where bigger cars have to slow down and be more careful, the Panda just glides through them really easily. Now, the only downside, of course, is that the Panda is only rear-wheel drive, not 4-wheel drive. So that's what we're going to try and check out today to see if we can still do some big boy 4-wheel drive stuff in a car that's made to look like a 4x4, but it isn't really a 4x4. It will only do 86 kilometers per hour in comfort mode. Believe it or not, it does get a sport mode, and the sport mode unleashes a little bit more power, gets you up to 106 kilometers per hour. So yeah, it's definitely more of a city car, absolutely. And that's why we brought it here to the countryside to check out whether it can actually do this version in particular, the chunky version, whether it actually can do some off-road stuff. Oh, here we go. So we're going up against another car now, and my camera guy's got a wider car. He's going to struggle a little bit more here. I think I'm going to have less of a problem with this. Wow, he's bold, isn't he? Wasn't really for slowing down. Mirrors must have been pretty close then. Now we've come down to a river crossing, and sometimes the water here can be a bit high apparently, and it did rain yesterday, so I'm not entirely sure what we're going to get when we get down there. Our car does have 17.5 centimeters of ground clearance, which is pretty reasonable for this. That's actually the same ride height as the standard version, believe it or not. It seems okay on this side. The other side looks quite a bit deep. Let's check that pothole. That's all right. Okay. All right, here we go. The water does look pretty deep over there. Oh, it gets deep here. I can hear it under the car. Well, there you go, we made it. We cleared it across the bridge. Brilliant. Okay, so we've passed the 3-point turn test on a narrow road, and we've passed the driving over a watery bridge road. So now we've got to really try and take it off-road and do some driving on some rocks maybe, and try and find some wet mud and see what we can do. As I mentioned in the intro, the Panda is a bit of a contradictory car really, because you get some things that you wouldn't expect to get in this car, and then you miss some things that you probably would expect to get. So for example, your mirrors, you have to adjust them manually with your hand touching the glass. There's no toggles inside, there's no electric mirror options. The steering isn't reach or rake adjustable, so you can't move it anywhere, it's where it is. You do get electric windows, but they're only one touch down. You have to hold them to bring the windows back up, which is quite funny. On the plus side, you do get modern car benefits like a 9.2-inch screen in the middle that's actually pretty responsive. It's not quite up there with the new electric cars coming out of China, but it's responsive. It's got even things like, sound adjustment for your 2 speakers. Yes, 2 speakers that you get in the Panda Mini. And then you've also got a reversing camera and parking sensors, which again is really funny on a car of this size because it's tiny. Now the next big test of the Panda Mini is to see if we can get down a muddy path, and we've driven quite a long way actually to find one. It looks pretty choppy, so let's give it a go and see if that 17.5 centimeter ride height is quite useful. there's like a lot of puddles here. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin, that was nice. You know what, this isn't too bad. I could drive in that little mud pit over there like a hippo. Like a big white hippo and a big khaki Geely Panda Mini. I want to test it, I want to push it into the deep stuff. We have got a tow rope just in case we need one. But this is apparently a lot of 4x4s come down here to try what they can do. It's not super deep. Oh, actually this place. This could get really fun. Oh my. Okay, what's the best way to approach this? Okay, a little bit of wheel spin there. I'm going to try and go down the right hand side. Okay. Let's try and make it, okay? Power on through. Bit of wheel spin. Ah, we made it! I bet the car's covered in mud now. Okay, it's getting a bit. This isn't as moist down here. It's not as stodgy and wet, but it's definitely a bit lumpy. We've got like proper thin little city tyres on here, and I mean, so far it's doing pretty well. But there you go, it survived that. It made it. I'll go and check the colour of the car now. So, check out the wheels. So, this is probably the muddiest this car's ever got. Look at that, it's absolutely caked in mud. And the back here also, oh, it's all on the wheel arch. Yeah, it's pretty manky. It's pretty manky, but you know what? I mean, there's a good bit of space here with like rocks and dry stuff. So I want to see if I can do a loop of this. Let's test it out on some rocks. I reckon we can do some more with this and drive it around there. See, there's a guy with a crosser. He's got the right idea. He's brought the right equipment. But yeah, I think I'm going to try this route here. See if we can do it. I'm going to walk it first. Check it's okay. We've scoped out the little route that we're going to try. We're going to go around there, up the rocks by the tree, and then try and come back down here again. You can see it does get a bit choppy around here. Hopefully the short wheelbase will do us some favours, but I'll get in and give it a go. Let's see how it goes. Ah. Okay, seatbelt on. And let's begin. I've got to take this easy because if anything breaks, it's on me. The first part looks fairly easy. It's just mostly grass. And then we've got a tight turn around here with some big chunky rocks. And I think we're going to get a little bit of slippage. You can hear the rocks moving around under the car. If we can get up the hill, which you feel the car skidding on the rocks. Now I've got to try and get around the corner here. Tell you what, oh, we seem to have got stuck there. Hang on, let's see if we can roll backwards a little bit. All right, bounce over that one, that's good. Now the crest is going to be a little bit interesting. Again, don't want to do any damage to the car, but this is the safest way over here. Every rock feels like the car is bouncing around, but it's done it. Now the last bit is going to be the slightly complicated bit because it's really quite choppy here, but I'm going to whiz up the hill once I've finished as kind of a little celebration. Alrighty. Here we go. Meow. There you go, Panda Mini. No problem. All right, so we've established that the Panda Mini is actually a bit better off-road than we thought it would be. I genuinely didn't think it might do that, and we almost got stuck a couple of times, so I don't think I would take it anywhere further than that. But the question was, how much fun can we have with a Panda Mini? And if you want to go more off-road or have more of an adventure, you also need to take some stuff with you. And we've already established that this roof rack is purely for decoration. This ladder, purely for decoration. Even the handles on the front are for decoration. So how practical is it? So I brought some props. Let me pop open the boot lid there. And let me bring around this mountain bike that I've borrowed from a shop. Now, our camera guys have brought this in their car, which is much bigger than this one. And this is the first time we're going to see if it actually fits in the back of the car. So the easy thing is first, clearly it's got to go with the seats down, because that's basically what you can fit in the boot, a home charger, that's it. So let's pop down the rear seats. Now that buys us some more room. Clearly, we're going to have to take the wheel off. So let me take the wheel off with the quick release, and we'll see if we can get it in. That's really stiff. See if we can get it in without the front wheel. Now, ideally, we'd probably also loosen the handlebars as well a little bit. How much do I need to unscrew it? Let's see. There we go, it's enough. Right, that's the wheel off. Now what I'm going to do is just rest that there. I'm going to put the front seat as far forward as it'll go. So let's slide that forward. And you can see the base cushion doesn't go all the way forward, but it does go fairly far. So we've got a reasonable amount of space in here. Now I'll take the stand off. And I'm guessing the best way is like this. Actually, even will the handlebars even get through the boot? That's a question. Now, as well as the bike, I've also got some luggage. This is a real world test of what you can do with a Panda Mini. Now, as you can see, we are starting to struggle now getting that big back wheel inside. You know, I could try with the handlebars first. Let's try with the handlebars first and go the opposite way. The wheel makes it easier to roll in. Let's go the other way. Oh, I'm stuck in my shorts now. Right, let's try this way. There we go, okay. Now, I was certain that this would go in. I could probably lower the seat, that would make things a bit easier too, but let me try and... I still think we can get closer with this. Or maybe not. Let me try from the inside. The problem is I don't want the forks digging into my ribs while I'm driving, because that wouldn't be ideal, would it? But if the bike was stood up, would that even work better? I've got the seatbelt stuck on the handlebars now, but how's that looking at the back? I'm not quite there yet. Oh, that might close. That might close. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's grab the suitcases then. Now, it's not really weekend at Bernie's, but it'll be. Let's see if I can get the big suitcase in there alongside the bike. Stuck on the bike now. There we go. Okay, that's one suitcase in. Let's put the smaller one in the front seat, actually. Right, that one goes in the front seat. Put that down in the footwell. Alrighty, and then we've got our wheel to squeeze in. Alright, that's one thing in. Now, let's pull that up. Close this door. Alrighty, can we close the boot? Moment of truth. This is a question. That's it. So there you go. You can actually get a full-size bike in the back of a Panda Mini if you take the wheel off. But yeah, see, you can do anything with this car. Absolutely brilliant. You've impressed me, Panda. I might have to buy one of these for myself. So as you can see, the sun's going down on our little adventure with the Panda Mini, and I'm starting to regret the fact that I wore white trainers today. That wasn't a great idea. Now, of course, we've talked about a lot of cool things about the Mini. The real downside of the Panda Mini, going on a real road trip, is that you will have to stop to charge quite a few times. And if I want to get back to my hotel, I'm going to have to go and do that. So I'm going to go and find a charger, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.